Hello, I'm Aaron Leventhal. We're streaming live from Hero Arts. We're having a factory store event. We're very excited because it's been 2 years of quiet given COVID. And so now we've got maybe a few people coming to visit us. We're very excited to show you what it's like if you were here visiting Hero Arts in Richmond for our factory store event. All right, should we go take a look at what's happening? Here we go. This is all the people who have come visit in the area, and we sent out the email. 1,400 people got this email. If anybody's been around, they were able to drive here and see. Where'd you guys come from? Fremont. So we've got people coming from Fremont. We had one group who said they came from Florida, although I don't think they drove all the way just for this.
Thanks for making me on.
Anytime. Okay, so people are coming. Sunnyvale's not that close, so it's somewhat of a drive to get here. Yeah, on a rainy day. We never get rainy days, so thank you for coming even today. Yes. Where are you guys coming from?
Sacramento.
Are you Sacramento?
Just south of Sacramento.
Okay. Pleasant Hill? All right, so hour and a half drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the rain? Well,
Yep.
thank you for coming. So as you can see, we have a lot of crafters who are coming. We have been closed, like I mentioned, for 2 years. So this is wonderful to see everybody join us. The line's snaking around, and we have this factory event. Previously, in previous years, we had it pretty frequently, but now this is the first time in almost 3 years around.
Seeka, this is Libby. I just want to let you guys know that the software is canceling out the background noise, so it is a little hard to hear you guys. So you're going to want to be close to Aaron when you talk to him.
So appreciate people waiting. Where are you guys from? Thank you for joining all the way up here. Yeah, it's great to have you. We'd love to have you more often. Now with COVID over, and I think we're hoping to. We're going to try to open on our Wednesday. Yeah. Thank you for coming. The guy that came from Florida I was telling you about. So usually it's sunny and warm in California, but not today. This is one of 2 rainy days we've had all year, but people are still braving the rain. I want to walk you over to our cards because we had a big card drive, what we call old school card drive, and we're asking everyone here to vote. That's one of the ways that people we're going to recognize all the people who submitted cards. And there's 3 ways that we're giving recognition, $75 gift cards, and one of the ways is everybody here is voting. So I'll show you the card entries. People are busy at work. We have a county certified voting box, so that everything is, up on the up. Not really. No, it's just you just stick your vote in. It won't count. Whoever gets the most. The 17 cards of the hundreds of people who did submissions. Thousands of cards came in, and it was nearly impossible to pick. And so we had our staff, some of them who are customer service people, some production workers, some in accounting, non-stampers. Their favorites, so we put them up, and we're allowing the group here to vote. And we got a lot of votes. We won't be able to reveal online who wins because there's a lot of votes to count, but we will reveal the other 2 winners of the 3 that will receive rewards for submitting a card for charity. By the way, the cards are going to 2 great places. that really need joy during the holiday season. So it really warms my heart that we got so many card entries. Thank you, everyone, for submitting the cards that you did. Hey, where are you guys from? Oakland? Not too far. Well, thank you for coming. Yes, tons of fun. Where'd you come from? Walnut Creek. Okay, I was born in Walnut Creek. Yeah. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for coming. So all of these items are, how can I put it? These are some of our best and most favorite designs. Actually, all of our designs are best and most favorite designs. But at some point, as years pass, even the ones that you cherish and love, they have to kind of make way for the new. So we're saying goodnight to some of these designs. Many of these won't be seen again, but they have had wonderful creative experience and journey, and yet we've got to make way for the new ones for 2023. So that's why we're having a factory sale. And so what you see here, we have factory store sales. We will also donate to schools. Many of these will go out and have kind of another creative journey in the hands of other people who maybe wouldn't have otherwise done stamping. So we donate to hospitals in need, we donate to kids, and of course for the holiday season, just like we're donating cards, we'll be donating these for gifts for kids who otherwise don't have the ability to get gifts on a regular basis, and give them an opportunity to stamp. Thank you for coming. Yes.
Seeka, can you hear me can you hear me? This is Libby talking to Seeka on the live stream. I don't know if she can hear me or not, but I'm going to ask her
Way
to
back to
show
the
more
exit,
of
and we'll go
products.
look at the next card that was selected as a winner from the old school card drive. Yeah, where'd you come from today? Okay. How'd you go? Good. Glad you could be here. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we're hoping to. We're hoping in 2023, we're opening up regular hours. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for coming today.
Oh yeah, thank you. This is fun.
Camera is doing an excellent job trying to navigate, walking through people, and still keep the camera on me. It's probably a lot more easy to hear now. Walk back to where we have all the cards. This is the Hero Arts customer service, which, of course, on a Saturday, there's no one here. Even if we're open, all the staff's working the factory store, so the place is empty. Let's walk back here. Our top designs. It's going to be a stamp very soon. All right, so for the old school card drive, we asked people to send cards for the charities that we are going to donate to this year. We actually selected one charity, but now we're going to two because you produced so many wonderful cards and so much cheer and joy that we really wanted to be sure these each get into the hands of someone who wants them. So if you notice, thousands of entries from hundreds and hundreds of people, we really appreciate it. One of the things that we did is, have you ever seen those little dinosaur grippers? I don't have it with me, but you know how you can pick things up, little dinosaur mouth, you know? That's how we picked a random one. We went over there and we just grabbed one. And here's the one that randomly was picked from the group. It's from Rosa, and we will contact you, Rosa, directly. And this is the card that is the random pick, thanking everyone for submitting.
their cards. We really appreciate everyone, and this is the one that's going to win an award for submit from the random submission. A little bit later, we'll also reveal the staff favorite. And it was so fun to pick the staff favorite because a lot of the people who helped vote at Hero Arts, it's all the employees. So a lot of them are non-stampers, even though they work here. And so it was very fun to see which cards they liked and they enjoyed and they voted for. So the staff winner, we will show you in just a couple minutes. But before we do that, I figured we'd take a quick tour of Hero Arts. Now, one of the number one kind of questions that I get when people come visit, when we used to have regular store hours, which we don't now, but we're going to try to do that again, is can I get a tour of Hero Arts? And whenever I'm here and whenever we have the time, we always do that. So let's take a quick tour and you can see for yourself what it's like. So I've done a number of videos, and if you search our YouTube library, you'll probably find other tours. And this one will be a little different because it's dark on a Saturday and no employees are here. Often, I think the best part of the tour is seeing everybody doing the work. Nonetheless, let's take a look today. So Hero Arts, again, if you've taken one of my tours, is a green certified facility. We've been green certified for 6 years running in this location, as well as another 15 in our previous location. In our previous location, we had a solar array that powered the full operations. We had 2 facilities for a number of years. We've since consolidated into this facility. We have wind offsets and all the power that we use. We use only recycled materials whenever possible. Our wood is sustainably harvested from North American FSC certified forests. Our rubber is all natural. We have progressively over the last 25 years eliminated all the toxins, all the resins, and all even cleaning agents that we used to use on our facility. We've even eliminated the use of water in California. That's a very important thing to do. And so our process is one that continue to win sustainability awards on a regular basis because of the things we do. The thing that I'm most proud of too is that we have reached out to all of our vendors. We have about 55 regular vendors, another 100 occasional vendors, and we asked them to do the very same things that we do in our facility. And we actually make material selections, and when we have bidding processes for large groups of papers or ink pads or anything like that, we use that kind of green standard to help us make the decision of which vendor to go with. This is a very important part of what we do. The reason why we endeavor to do this is our employees have, on average, worked with Hero Arts for 17 years. It's a family business. So why would we want to work with toxins or resins or cleaning agents? And certainly, why would we want you to have to receive that and get that? And of course, we all have kids. It's good for the planet. It's good for their future. So that's why it's very important that we build our company in that way. So taking a tour, let's just walk around. We actually just did inventory. So we're in the process of cleaning up and finishing. One of the key things is safety. So everything is marked of where it's supposed to be. There's never anything in the aisles when everything is fully cleaned up. If you look at here, these are the product stacks where we have a bin system where you scan in and scan out. Inventory is done that same way. That way we can track your order. You place an order, we bring it through the facility. We know we give you the right product because we can scan it. We know where it is in the process because the scan gun has been activated, and we know at scan when it's in shipping because the scan will tell us it's there. And then finally, whoever is going to bring it from our facility to yours, UPS or FedEx or USPS, then scans it again. And so the whole process is tracked with modern inventory systems. Because we just had inventory, we actually have room for 2023. That's why we're having a factory store sale. So now we actually will have these filled up with the bins, the products for 2023. The products for 2023 are going to come in the form of obviously an MMH each month, January, February, March, all the way through the end of the year, as well as catalogs. And so we have our spring catalog is going to come out. I think the date is February 20th is when it's going to officially launch on our website and at stores near you. And so if we do this tour, February 15th, you'll see all the products right here. So this is something that we have to do every year, is this inventory to be sure that we have all the products that are in-house, that say are in-house. That's something that's very difficult to keep accurate. You have in your computer, it says 100 items, but if you go to the shelves and there's only 95, you have to reconcile that. And that's why we physically count everything once a year, or at least do what's called cycle counting, where we count random products that allow us to know what is actually accurate. So today you wouldn't hear cutting or the wood processes going. Usually you hear a clicker press going goom, goom, which is cutting out rubber stamps. You don't have anybody doing assembly, which is where people would be putting clear into bags or backer cards. You don't have anybody making cling, but these are all the stations where you would have busyness happening. We also don't have people here receiving at the moment or shipping, but this is the process where things get checked in as they come through. And then finally, as you can see down the aisles, this is where we store new things that come in before they get broken down and put into our inventory. This is the Hero Arts facility on a quiet Saturday. You probably can't hear it, but I can hear rain in the background, and that's, again, very unusual these days. But you can hear rain running along the rooftop of the facility. And despite that, you still have all the people coming to the factory store. So what a wonderful community. It's so, so joyful to come to work every day, because I just know that the community that's out there really enjoys the things that we do, and we are motivated and really inspired by that. So thank you. All right, should we go look at the factory store one more time before we reveal the staff pick for the old school car drive? Seeka's walking very, very safely, which is great. She hasn't tripped once yet. All right, let's go take one more look at the factory store. All right, it's going to probably get loud again. Excited people. It's wonderful to see. Just don't know how many people are going to come on Lady Saturday, and it's great to have everybody join. Thank you for coming. You find things you wanted? All right. That's great. Have you been here before?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Sorry, we haven't been here very frequently. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Our midtones are lighter shades, and the reason why it's in the factory store now is that we replaced it with what we call the shadow, which is the lightest ink that we have in the midtones, which is a little bit more saturated. And the core ink line now is an integrated line that takes those two away and puts them all into one color spectrum. So you might see the same colors in our new core line, but they have new packaging, a new look, and it's kind of, we tried to simplify the whole thing so that it was more clear. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh wow! All right. Thank you for coming. Like we said, it's wonderful to see. Again.
again, because we do this so infrequently, often we've seen many times. That's just wonderful to do, which is why we used to do our Wednesday. We used to, every Wednesday, we'd have our practice store open. We'd even have card classes. Libby, of course, Libby Live. Sometimes we'd even teach classes here. Seeka's been here many times. This is a wonderful opportunity to have community in the area, and we really look forward to picking it up again. We actually have plans for this lobby. If you notice, it's very industrial. To actually put some flooring down, put couches in, and even have a coffee shop here with a maker space where we can run classes on a regular basis. For retail stores as well, so that we can teach retailers how to use our products, but also, of course, for stampers to come and hang out and have special events with us, class events, and have an ongoing factory store as well of our current products, not just the stuff that we're trying to move on from in order to make room for 2023 products. Looks like there's a lot of people voting. That's going to be hard counting. I was hoping that we could reveal today to you who is actually going to win the voted contest for old school card drive, but there's just too many votes. We're going to have to count it, and we'll reveal it, I think, later to the lives over on our blog. All right. Why don't we, speaking about the old school card drive, why don't we go look at the staff pick? All right, we're heading back now. This, just as a note, this is the design area. And so usually you have 4 designers working here, creating new products, new designs. Used to be that in the old days of Hero Arts, all of our stamps were actually hand drawn, as you can imagine. And in the old days, like the 80s, we actually had colored label tops. And so not only would they hand draw the designs, and then you'd scan that design, you turn into a negative, which would allow you to create a plate, which would then allow us to run the rubber. Back in the 80s and the 90s, there was only red rubber. Wasn't clear yet. We would have pictures on the walls. So you'd have actually the originals we would frame and some of the ones that we liked. But more so is that they would actually paint the top. So you would have paintbrush and you'd actually create a watercolor top that would become the color image. And so the design era used to have almost like drafting tables, like architecture desks at an angle where there would be painters and there would be illustrators. And then we had this big old drum scanner, which was so loud and would put out so much heat. It was quite funny to see that technology like that must be long gone. But they would scan both the illustrations, the black line drawings, the pen line drawings, as well as the full color label tops, which were done on an acetate sheet, so you could see through it. And those were then sent to the label companies to actually make the label tops. Now our label tops are black and white. We feel that that's more elegant because that way you can choose the color. You can decide how you want to color it. You can decide how you want to use a background as opposed to maybe the one way that we would have colored the top. So after about, I actually don't know what year, maybe 2005, we stopped using color tops. Although we do continue to use it in the teacher market, color tops still remain in the teacher market, although we don't hand color anymore. That's also done now, just like our illustrations, our line art is all done on the computer, on iPads, on drawing tablets, and various things. Although still, our artists love sketching and love drawing in their art journals, and so we continue to kind of encourage everybody. We actually have drawing days where we try to encourage everybody to continue to use pen and paper. It's classic. It's also enjoyable, and I think it's it's less stressful working on the computer.
But that's just my opinion. We also have testing areas where we test a lot of the products. You can see that we have stacks of things that are getting tested right now. That room would also be testing, but we stole all the tables for the factory store sale. So they're all missing, but you would see all of the items that are testing or are being evaluated for different reasons. And again, now we're in what we call the resource center, or the design center, or the place where we do photography. We do various things. It's a mess right now, but we made space for, again, as I mentioned before, all of the old school drive card submissions are here. We showed you the random pick that was Rosa's, and now we're going to show you the staff favorite. We actually had about 40 votes from our staff members, and I have to be honest, it was all over the place. People loved all of the cards that were submitted. It was nearly impossible to pick, to be honest, but we had to narrow it down because we said we would pick staff favorite. So we actually had to vote a number of times in order to get there, and in order to do it, ultimately, this is the card that won. This card is from Karin, maybe Karen, but I think it's Karin, Karin, and we will reach out to Karin and let her know she won. And the staff, I think, liked it most because it's cozy and playful, and it feels like you're sitting by the fire and you're drinking your mug of coffee or hot chocolate. Again, I think from a style perspective, I think every card could have won, to be honest. And so we had to narrow it down, and this is the one that our staff liked. Of all of them, this is the one they liked the most. So congrats, Karen or Karin. Thank you for submitting your card, and to Rosa for the random card. And then, like I said, the third will be the vote from the people who came to visit, and we will have to do that by the end of the day once everybody's done voting. So we have another few hours of the store, and so my guess is, it looked like when we counted just last, we had 250 votes, and so we will maybe have another 100, 250. So we'll count those up and let you know who won. All right. Just one more thing on the card drive. Internally, we have sometimes a lot of cards that people send us, which is just wonderful. We always appreciate it. Sometimes we have cards that go into the catalog that get sent to us, of course, that we photograph. And with the permission of the artist, we also give out cards to our staff so that they can use it for their family, their friends. And that's actually a big perk for some of our employees who don't stamp. Maybe they're in production, maybe they're in shipping, maybe they're in accounting. They have access, of course, to the various materials, and they often give gifts to their family or kids, Hero Art supplies. But if they don't stamp themselves, we give them access to cards, and they use that in their own home for their own birthdays or Christmases or things like that. So believe it or not, that's a real perk for a lot of people who are here. So many of you make beautiful cards on a regular basis. It really brings joy to the face of people, as I'm sure you know when you give your cards to other people. But our employees, just seeing them take a card, seeing a birthday card, and going, "Oh, I'd love to give this to my wife. Can I take this?" And it's a great part of the job of working for Hero Arts to see all the beautiful cards that are submitted, pretty much all the time. But in the thousands for our old school card drive. All right. With that, I won't talk anything more about the old school card drive. If there's any questions, you're welcome to ask. Libby, of course, is online, and Seeka can ask me if there's anything that comes up. Okay, cool. Why don't we go back into the factory store, and I will we'll walk through one more time, and I will reiterate the plans once again of what we're hoping to do with this facility and also talk briefly about some of the events that we've had here. Again, we'll brave the crowds. We'll walk all the way to the other side and we'll talk there. I'm just so quiet here. So surprised. With no one here. It's really quiet. Other than the heat, I hear the heater on and rain in the background. It's really, you hear a pin drop there. All right, but not so out here. Here we go.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Exciting times. We're looking forward to getting rid of a lot of these products, which, again, we love. I know that Libby has said many times, I can't believe it's the worst time of year to have to discontinue so much stuff. It's the reality of having, as you can see, an inventory system like we have. We have so much space, and we have creative ideas all the time. In fact, for every 100 idea we have, we only are able to get to like 5. And so it's not that we're short of ideas, it's that we're short of space in our facility. So we have to keep our inventory down to a certain level. At any given time, we have 2,000 active products. After this, we'll have about 1,700, but then we'll be able to build it back up over 2023 with new products that come out, say, for an MMH or a catalog. And for that reason, this is, for Libby, sad. For me, I'm happy to see these products continue, even if they're years old, to find someone who enjoys them and a good home. So kind of like pets, you learn to have a good home. They're not going to be with you. And so we're very excited to have everybody come to go through the factory store with discontinued items. All right. I promised I'd tell you a little bit about this lobby and our plans. Before I tell you about our plans for 2023, this lobby's been used for many years since we've been here. We've been here in Richmond for about 10 years. Actually, no, that's not true. This is now the beginning in 2023, the beginning of our 12th year. So we're at year 11 now, and I think in March 2023 it'll be 12. We've been in Richmond. We started, of course, as a company in 1974 in Berkeley. We then moved to Oakland. Some of the people from here who we talked to are from Oakland, which is not far. Berkeley and Oakland are very close to each other, just a few miles apart. And then we moved from Oakland into a bigger facility in Emeryville, and that was in the 80s. And Emeryville, again, is very close to Berkeley, within a few miles. And then we were in Emeryville for almost 20 years before we then moved to Richmond. Richmond's only 9 miles from Emeryville down the freeway, so we stayed pretty close in our areas. But Richmond is much more an industrial zone. It's where Rosie the Riveter worked in the World War II era. In fact, we're just off the pier. You can see the bay at the end of the way where Rosie's and Wendy, the welders, would work. So this feels like a nice manufacturing area. It's kind of old world manufacturing. And this facility itself used to be a soup factory. They used to can soup here. In fact, there was a train right up to the middle of the U of our building. So we're on one side of the U. On the other side are other businesses. Right down the middle of that U such of the shape of the building would be a train that would come and pick up all the cans. And apparently the claim of fame with this building in the 40s is there was a botulism scare in Monterey, which is where they make and can most of the products that get shipped across California and the rest of the U.S. And so this facility actually handled all of the West Coast canning for a period of 1 month when they had to kind of clean up the botulism that was afflicting, I think, the Monterey facility. So that was many, many years ago. And then we moved in, like I said, 11 years ago. And this lobby has been unused, but what we've done is we've rented it out for many events. We've had Jennifer McGuire here, we've had Catherine Kusin, we've had many different events where we've had creative team members, we've had Libby's taught here, we've had many of our own events, laid out tables, and we've done classes, not just for stampers, but also for retailers. We also hosted a number of political events here, Green Award events here, where people have utilized our facility. Believe it or not, we even had some politicians who just were meeting at the end of the way and asked if they could use our lobby, and we taught a card class to them. So we were spreading the inspiration of crafts to California politicians. We've also hosted, which I really enjoy, is we used to host before COVID, and we're going to get back to that. Schools would come and they'd bring kids. Primarily, the 8 to 12-year-old groups would come. Sometimes Girl Scouts, sometimes Boy Scouts, and we'd have these various events for kids, which is so much fun. Oh, they ask the best questions. I mean, kids want to know, okay, why do we do that? Okay, what's this? Okay, why do you do that? Oh, why is that color blended with that color? But not this with that. And it's just, it's a joy to have that kind of excitement on their faces when they do it. Some that have stamped before, some that have never stamped before. And so it is really rewarding to teach those classes. And it's a great way to build community. Given we, over our almost, going on 50 years in 2024, we've been in pretty much the same areas, a few miles apart each time we've moved. We've always tried to facilitate community, and for that reason, I think that we're a well-known company in the area for giving back to schools. There's a number of children's hospitals here. They are well stocked with product, which warms my heart. And they know every year that they can come to us and ask for craft supplies, if that's what they want. For schools, for hospitals, for various charities, etc. And so this really, to me, is a wonderful example of how we can community build and really get close to the teachers, the schools, and the various people in our community. Not just crafters who come to classes, but also the kids who really enjoy coming to Hero Arts and stamping. I'm sure not all of them do, but man, you wouldn't know it. It's such a wonderful field trip. I wish when I was a kid, I had an opportunity like that. I just don't think there was stamping back then. And my mother, when I was, very young, so we're almost 50 years old, so that means I was -8 when we founded the company. And I'm actually 55, but I would get to stamp all the time because my mother would show that with. She was a school teacher. She would show off stamping to students, to my friends, and I kind of grew up in that environment. So I wanted to be sure to bring that back to what people could experience with this company once I take it over. All right. One of the things we're looking at in 2023, a number of people, as you hear, have asked us this, is are we going to have regular hours? We're looking to do regular hours again for our factory store. Our factory store used to have a small area of discontinued products like this event, but really it was more known for you to come pick up your monthly kits. So if you're an MMA subscriber, for example, you could come and pick up your kits. You could get the add-ons on the day that it was, or that week if you decided, instead of having it shipped to you. And it wasn't about shipping costs necessarily. Maybe for some it was, but others it was just being able to, I think, come and say hi at Hero Arts. And that was a wonderful part of the pre-COVID days that we would love to bring back and planning to do so in 2023. Also, I think I briefly mentioned that we have architectural plans to make this lobby a makerspace. What do I mean by makerspace? We would have tables. We would have, high tables. We'd have low tables. We'd have company seating areas. It would be an area where you could kind of, have mixed areas. Some would be tables for classes that you could bring out. Some would be couches just to lounge and just socialize. Others would be high tables where you could actually die cut and floss, and all the stuff would be out on a regular basis. And so, how fun would that makerspace be? Especially if we added a cafe, you get coffee and maybe a pastry or a sandwich. You could come for lunch. You could stay all day. You could just drop in. Factory store would be open, so you could buy the newest hero art. So that was our vision, our plan. We would even start a new class series. Of course, Libby, who is our education director, is all the way across the country in Georgia. But when she did come out, she could teach classes. And when she's not here, we can have other people like Seeka, if she would agree, or other creative team members to come and teach classes or do make takes or demo. Again, work with retailers, stampers, just work with anybody who walked in who sounds interested, who might just be here to get a coffee. Create kind of new excitement for people who don't stamp. One of the best parts, by the way, of these events that we had in the past is not only to have all of you come visit, not only to have kind of that community, is also the idea of seeding local retailers. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we had more stores, right? Wouldn't it be great if we went back to the old days before Amazon and online e-commerce was so popular? Back in 2000, we actually had 6,000 independent stores that we sold to in the U.S. alone. I mean, just imagine that is multiple stores in every big city. That is most smaller to medium-sized towns and cities that have at least one. It's just not the case anymore. Currently, we have about 800 active independents that buy from us wholesale in the U.S. And it's not that those other, 6,000 minus 800, so 5,200 stores don't buy from us anymore. It's they literally went out of business. They're just not there anymore. Just like bookstores, e-commerce has really taken away that wonderful local community store in so many places. And because of that, we are always looking for ways to support our retailers. And so these are wonderful events for retailers to come interact with you, the customer. If you happen to be in the area and come visit, maybe you're taking a class, maybe a retailer there too. You can tell them what they want. It's like the best way to do customer research, to do product research, to get taught how to use the product from the actual manufacturer, to come and visit the facility, to see how we display products, to see how we attract customers to come to events like this. It is a wonderful training ground for retailers who don't even know they're going to start a store yet, maybe today, but will in the future. And if we can have more stores, if we can have more independents really rise up, that would be, I think, a wonderful thing. Back in the day before live streams on Facebook and YouTube, back in the day before social media, the key things that people found community because they couldn't find it online, it's wasn't there yet, were these stores, were these classes, were these events in person. And so I think that is really the heart and soul of the early stamping years in so many ways. And so if we can add even just a little bit of that, that would be wonderful. So many of our great competitors in this industry do a beautiful job. Seeka was telling me she was in Florida just recently, and so Concord at Night, Greg and their team do a beautiful job. Gina K does a wonderful job. Create, Simon Says Stamps, has an in-person event that is wonderful. Everybody's got ways to kind of build community and reach out to the in-person environment that I think is more and more scarce these days, given there are so few independent stores like there were in the old days, like there was back in 2000. We had 6,000 independent stores. Some of those stores, by the way, are still in existence today, which is want to tribute to them for still being around. But so many are gone, and it's really it's sad to see. I definitely mourn those stores because I used to whenever I was in a different town, whenever I was traveling across the U.S. to go visit those stores and see meet the owners and see them. Because other than shows, like we used to have trade shows much more, we still have those, but not as many as we used to. We would meet those stores. But even today, now maybe people won't be traveling as many times a year to those trade shows, so it's much harder to see stores, and they're just fewer of them. So anyway, there's my 2 cents on how I'd love to see the industry evolve, which is to more independent stores, so that you wherever you may be, can go visit one locally on a regular basis and see the products in hand as opposed to just online. Now, online has done a beautiful job replacing that community that was missing as things disappeared, as stores went away. Facebook Live, being able to look on YouTube, all the various inspiration, new techniques, new ideas, it is rich, and that is such a great addition to everything we do. And if we can also have these store these maker spaces, I think that blend just adds so much opportunity for interacting, community, working together, learning new techniques, seeing products when they come out, the tactile nature of things. I still have trouble buying clothes online, although I do. Because I like trying things on. But I think that stamping is something that is just meant to be done. All right. Looks like we're slowing down all of these events. It's so funny. We used to, when we started these, we would have like 2-day factory store events. We go like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Almost every time you get people coming before it even opens. We have a line out at 9 o'clock, even though we're open at 10. And generally, most people want to get here right at 10 because they want to see what's available. They don't want things to be sold out. And then by the end of the day, there's really no reason to have long hours because it's just a buying event. There's no classes, there's no community, there's no so people are in and out and very efficient, which is a great way to practice. All right, why don't we go back?
Libby lives not too far from me.
Oh, really? Yeah, we're live on Facebook right now, Libby.
Hi, Libby. It's Thalia from Cherokee County.
You came all the way from Georgia?
Well, not just for this. When I saw you were going to have it, I was thrilled. I've been here since June to help my son with babysitting.
Oh, great.
And I'll be going back in January. And then my husband's come out from fall. But yeah, so when I saw you were going to have this, I was like so excited. I just put it on my calendar.
Right. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
Yes, you too. All right. That is so fun. So much fun to do these events. Again, seeing people that we've seen many times, but again, it's been 2 years. We actually did have an event now that I remember. Somebody did say we had an event last year, and they're right. We did have a small event where we opened the store for a short period of time just to say hi to everybody. COVID was waning. This facility was actually closed for a long time, even beyond what we had planned to close for some renovations, and so we weren't able to do it. But we did have an event. We saw
people last year, and I want to continue to do that now this year. So we're getting close to the end of our broadcast. I do want to show you one thing. These are the green awards that we've won over the years. We've actually won a number of others that we haven't hung yet. Green certified company, green energy partner, because we offset all of our emissions either with solar or wind. This is the sustainability award that we won from 2014. It's hard to see this one, but this is the State of California Small Business of the Year award that got given to us by the Governor of California. And that's the highest award that a small company can win. Very proud of that. This is a painting from one of the kids who came to our event, and I'm yet to hang it. We have a whole wall of things that we're actually framing and we're going to put up on the wall. I can't show you today because it's still being finished, of all the kind of kids art from those events that I mentioned that we've hosted over the years with either Girl Scout troops or Boy Scout troops or classes or at these children's hospitals. And so that is so fun to see their cards. And some of them are really impressive. I mean, sometimes they have never done art before. And just to see them try these things, they have no fear. Embossing, die cutting, painting. It's really wonderful to see the gusto that they put into making their own cards. But with that, I guess we've come to the end of the, I don't know what else to say, so I can only speak for 55 minutes apparently. So I just want to thank all of you for coming and joining Hero Arts for this live event. As we mentioned, we will have the winner from the votes from the card drive later today on the blog, maybe Monday, actually, now that I think about it. We'll do our best because we've got a lot of cleanup to do. But I think we'll try to get by the end of today, and if not, it'll be Monday morning. But either way, so appreciative of you joining us today, so appreciative of people who submitted cards for the old school card drive, so appreciative for the people who have joined us today at the factory store. And by the way, we have factory store bundles that we're calling factory blowout bundles that are available online. So you too, we just randomly put some stuff together. Great value, 75% off. I think some of them are more, at least 75% off on those bundles. It's just a random collection of products that we put together from this store so that you too could participate online if you're not here today and if you're too far to make the drive. And so you can buy those factory store bundles and get a small experience of being here on our factory store. They're great value, and they're products that won't be seen again. Again, like I said, they're some of our favorites. All of our designs are our favorites that are going away and being discontinued, which is why we're doing all of this. Once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here today and spending this hour with us. Thank you, Seeka, for filming. Thank you, Libby, for hosting this live, and see you again soon.